Oshkosh Media, opening access to local government on GovTV, providing a community voice on Life TV, and community-based radio on Oshkosh FM.
Welcome to Helping Hands with your hosts, John Neiman and Judy Ritchie.
Hello and welcome to Helping Hands. This is our opportunity to let you and the community know how you can lend a helping hand to a program or agency in need. I'm Judy Ritchie, Community Advocate.
I'm John Neiman with Aurora Medical Center, and welcome to our June edition of Helping Hands. I know, you're looking at the shirt and you're thinking, that is really Hawaiian and tropical, but our weather this year has been
a little iffy, so
yeah.
I've got the sweater.
Yeah, we've been so different with hot and cold and etc., so I thought I'm just going all out. It's June, it's got to be nice for the month of June. We're so glad that you could be with us. We have an exciting show today. As always, we want to begin by thanking our sponsor. Without Aurora Healthcare, this show would not be on the air, and this actually is our 16th year on the show doing Helping Hands, and also our set design by Harnix on 9th Street. Also then, people always ask, where can you see us? Where can you hear us on the radio? Well, we're on Oshkosh Media. Just go to their website and look up Helping Hands. We're on 5 to 7 days of the week at all different times. So go online, oshkoshmedia.org. You can listen to us on the radio at Oshkosh FM 101.99. We're all over the place. We do this show because we like to feature volunteer agencies, not-for-profits, their volunteer programs, and the wonderful volunteers. So speaking of wonderful, we have a wonderful guest with us today.
We do, and she's kind of a new acquaintance for us, but representing a longtime program, Lori Bushell, and she is the community outreach specialist at ADVOCAP and working with volunteer services. So welcome, Lori.
Thank you.
First of all, for our audience, can you tell them what ADVOCAP is? What's it about?
ADVOCAP is an action agency. We're nonprofit. What we do is provide community resources that help individuals get out of poverty and
basically helping them to maintain their independence regardless of income levels.
Correct. Thank you.
And with that, I'm sure you have many programs.
Yes, we do.
For different parts of their life in which they may need at a certain time.
Yes.
So you are the community outreach specialist. So does that mean that you also work with the volunteers?
I go into the community. I look for volunteers for the RSVP program only,
okay,
which are individuals 55 and older.
Okay. And that RSVP is retired
senior and volunteer program.
Okay. I love that too because I think it's my gray hair, even though I call it silver, people call it gray. But you go out to places and they'll say, are you a senior citizen? But that age limit is so different. At some places it's 55, which I see yours is. At other places it's a little higher, which I don't meet yet. But
well, and I'll tell you a little trivia, is that many years ago with the Alliance of Volunteer Agencies, and ADVOCAP was looking to start more programs, and several of our members, other member agencies, were writing letters of support and got the extra program in place.
Wow,
so
it's incredible.
It's a good, ADVOCAP is a good example of community partners with other existing agencies and not duplicating a lot of services.
Which, community partnerships is the big buzzword now, but with AVA, Alliance of Volunteer Agencies, we've been doing that for many, many years in our wonderful community, always partnering, always sharing.
Over 30 years.
Yep. So we're glad that ADVOCAP can be part of this, and we're glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Here with us also.
So with the RSVP program, why don't you tell a few of the things that are involved with that?
Okay, in the RSVP program, there are 4 areas. One is the foster grandparent. The second is senior volunteers. We also have school volunteers and transportation.
And with each of those now, school year is over with, but somebody that was looking for an opportunity come fall, what does a school volunteer do, through your programs?
Well, first let me explain. The school volunteer is not just for during the school. Sometimes children need help during the summertime. So we would place someone to help that child. What they would do is go into a school that we all are connected with, place that in the volunteer with a child, and they would help through the direction of the teacher of what the child needs assistance with.
And one of the things too is you don't take anybody that walks off the street. You have to go through a very rigorous background check.
Yes, all volunteers have a background check, both fingerprint, sexual offender, and then they're also placed in a position where there's a match. We just don't say, okay, you can volunteer here, and let's say it's not the right fit. Mm-hmm. We're here to make it right for the volunteer.
So they're like a teacher's aide in the classroom, helping the student.
Well, I don't really. It's a hard. It's not really a mentor. It's not really a tutor, but it's going in there and assisting the child with the help that they need
during the class
during
day.
the class time. Yes.
It's almost like being a parent or an aunt or an uncle or someone sitting down with the kids and encouraging them, but not taking over the lessons.
Yes.
Okay. And then along with that, the other end of the spectrum, Senior Friends.
Yes, Senior Friends is a great companionship program. It's designed for older adults, 65 and older, and or those with disabilities. And we place a volunteer in the person's home who is home alone and is not social. The bottom line is it's to help them have a companion, that their days are not so long, that it reduces some depression. All of these programs also help the volunteer, mm-hmm. To remain social. It helps physical and mental well-being, for both the participant mm-hmm. and the volunteer.
So my question would be, do you get referrals about a person saying that person really would need that, or does the person themselves call you and say, I'd like a senior friend?
Both.
Volunteer.
Both. When I'm out and about in the community, I not only look for volunteers, I look for participants too. We do have public service announcements. We have press releases, all sorts of things to let the community know what's available. They also can call ADVOCAP directly. If they know of someone who is home alone in Winnebago County. We also serve, though, Green Lake and Fond du Lac counties.
Well, this sounds like a perfect tie-in with our topic on our May show that we did with Aurora's Help Program, mm-hmm. which recognizes the needs of people in the hospital, loneliness, depression, that kind of things, and we assigned volunteers to be with them to do things. That yours sounds just like something perfect that would happen after they get home.
Well, that could be, however, this is a non-medical situation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's a matter
more
of calling
social,
and visiting.
But,
yes.
And that's sometimes what people need. If they're sitting at home by themselves, they might forget what time of day it is, what day it is, because there's no interaction with other people.
That would be a good fit.
Oh, yes. That's perfect.
And in the past, I know from when I was on the advisory committee back when, there were young couples or young families mm-hmm. that were participating, and how that senior acted and reacted with the little ones coming into the home. Mm-hmm. It was the family they didn't have, and how good that was for them.
That sounds really exciting,
Mm-hmm.
To get people to do that,
yes.
to be part of that, because maybe they don't have grandparents anymore. I know I lost my grandparents when I was in high school, and mm-hmm. I envy those people who are in their 40s and 50s who still have grandparents. So mm-hmm. that really is a great socialization way and meeting needs, like you said, on both ends.
Yes. Well, in Winnebago County, 43% of seniors are home alone and not social. which I think is really big. And the nice thing about having 55 and older is when people retire, you know, they have all these plans for retirement, and all of a sudden it stops, and you realize your friends are doing other things. It's not like going to work all of the time where you see people. So you too have to remain social and independent.
Right. Now on our screen right now, which this crew is wonderful at, it's talking about the foster grandparent volunteer. Can you talk about that and how that's a little different?
Yes, the foster grandparent receives a small stipend. They have to be 55 and older and meet the federal income guidelines. There is a 20-hour training along with where we ask 5 hours a minimum to be with the student in the classroom. And then also there is in-services throughout the year to maintain the skills and receive support from your cohorts.
Okay. And that is strictly the school year,
Yes.
as opposed to the school volunteer.
Correct. And you go right directly in the classroom with the child. The reason it's called foster grandparents is because it's through the Senior Corps, a federal program. And also, you know, when you have that child, you know, you kind of tend to become that foster grandparent.
Right.
Now there's one more, the volunteer transportation driver.
And that
Yes.
is a huge gap. It's just a drop in the bucket filling that gap.
Yes.
The need.
The transportation program requires the volunteer to live in Winnebago County because of Winnebago County funding.
Okay.
And the driver has to obviously have a reliable transportation, have a driver's license, proof of insurance. All those things are checked. Again, background checks. They do receive mileage reimbursement. They don't have to just drive in Winnebago County. Some drivers like to go a little bit further and have a nice day of it. So let's say they drive to Milwaukee and it, you know, is a long drive. They bring the person there. If it's out of the county, they also receive meal reimbursement. So there are really good things of being a volunteer at ADVOCAP in the RSVP program.
Well, and with the volunteer program, and I've really promoted it a lot where I live, and folks that I know that are losing their right to drive
Yes.
for various reasons. And that is with your volunteer, they can take someone to a doctor's appointment. Then they've got to maybe go for a lab or another test that they didn't anticipate. And your driver takes them to that. And they want to stop at the bank and get some money on the way home. And they can do that. Those can all be combined as opposed to using the cab, and each is a separate fare.
Yes, and the other thing is we also transport children and adults and older adults who are referred from the DHS.
Okay.
So if a child needs to visit a parent, we bring them. What's really nice is the volunteer in each program gets to see who they want, when they want, you know, and when it works for their schedule. So let's say you can't drive, you know, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but only want to drive Monday morning, well, then we set you up with someone who wants that. So it's not like, no, you're going to do this. It is what the volunteer wants to do.
And they develop some really strong relationships with the people that they're serving.
Yes, you know, some people don't like to drive children, so we connect them
Right.
with older adults. Some people don't want older adults and would rather have children. So we have, it's such a diverse group.
And that you're meeting everybody's needs.
Exactly.
Well, guess what, Lori? We are running short of time. This happens. It goes so fast.
Yes, it does.
And how we do it. So, what's your message that you want to get in this last minute here?
And your phone number.
Yes.
Okay, first let's do the phone number. If you would like to volunteer for our RSVP program, contact ADVOCAP or call 920-426-0150, or you can email me at lorib@advocap.org. Thanks, everybody. Let's make the community shine together.
You are
Thank you. She's a
wonderful.
pro.
You're very conversational, and you have a lot of information, which means we do have to have you come back.
I can
to
do
discuss
that.
things further, because I do like the idea. Volunteers today are looking for something to meet their needs on their schedule, and it sounds like your programs would be perfect for that. So we're so glad. Well, I'm so happy to meet you.
Thank
We're so
you.
glad you could be here.
Thank you so much.
We're glad that our audience was here for our first segment of our June edition of Helping Hands. Stay tuned, and we'll be back for our second segment of our June edition of Helping Hands.
Pickup is at 8:30 in the morning. Her appointment is at 9:15, and her return should be at 10:45, and then you have her again on Monday the 18th. And you have a great rest of your day, and please drive safely. Take care. Bye-bye, hon. Bye. My name is Sandy, and I do all the scheduling for ADVOCAP Volunteer Transportation. We transport a lot of children to supervised visitation with a parent. We also do a lot of transportation for our senior citizens and for veterans. We take the seniors and veterans to their medical appointments, dental appointments. And we also have expanded the program. We try to get them out into the community as much as we can. We take them grocery shopping, to the pharmacy. We've taken clients to the movies. If they want to go out to dinner with a friend, we transport them to their dinner appointments, and then we pick them up and take them back home.
Hi, I'm Frank Moletsky. I'm a driver for ADVOCAP, a volunteer. I do this because I'm told I have to do it to get out of the house so my wife has more free time. You like to drive and you're easygoing enough that you can talk to people on a regular basis. There's a lot of interesting stories, a lot of interesting individuals. It's a fun thing to do.
We need drivers desperately. The ADVOCAP Transportation is funded through a grant from Winnebago County Department of Human Services. And our drivers do receive a mileage reimbursement for the amount of miles that they drive. If someone is out there, they have no idea what they can do, call us.
If you're looking for something to fill your time and meet new people and don't mind having a lot of conversations with a lot of different people with a lot of different stories, come to see ADVOCAP. They'll be happy to put you through the paces and see if you can qualify to drive.
All you need is the heart to give to other people, to know that you are helping someone that desperately needs to go see a doctor. If anybody is interested in becoming a driver, please pick up your phone, call ADVOCAP, or go online and check out our website. Put yourself out there to help someone else that is in desperate need of transportation.
Hi, we're back for our second segment of our June edition of Helping Hands. I'm John Neiman with Aurora Medical Center.
And Judy Ritchie, community advocate. And one of the things that we always kind of ask about is, do you know somebody out in the community that would be a good unsung hero? Somebody that does all sorts of things for the community and really doesn't want to be in the spotlight, doesn't like to be recognized. They get really, about being recognized. We'd be glad to hear about them. Not that we want to embarrass them, but we'd like to honor them as unsung heroes. And last month we had the pleasure of surprising the director of the Teacher's Closet, who was representing all of the volunteers over there. And they really truly are unsung heroes. They're doing so much for the kids, that teachers and kids in the district that don't have all the supplies they need.
And that was kind of the purpose of why we started this program 16 years ago. Was there are a lot of programs going on in our community, and sometimes people don't know about them. Even when they need them, they don't know how to get hold of them. They don't even know they exist. So it's nice to learn more about programs that are benefiting people, and then also the people behind them. So that's why with the Friends of Oshkosh Media, we decided this Community Unsung Hero Award, which is every other month. So if you do know someone who is worthy, who is behind the scenes, we'd like to honor them. We pop in where they are and visit them and see what they're doing, and it's a nice surprise for them.
And they kind of, but I don't do that much. And we know that they do, but they undervalue what they're contributing.
To me, that's a true sign of a volunteer who's worthy, is when they say, I'm not worthy. Because volunteers never want to have, they do it because they want to do it.
That's where their passion is.
Right.
And you and I both have those types of things too. And whether it's work-related or personal, I mean, that's why we're there.
And I love this because I've got to meet a lot of different people now that I didn't know before and what they're doing. So please contact Judy or myself for information at the end of the show if you know of a program or a person that you might consider to be an unsung hero, and we'll consider having them as one of our guests.
Absolutely. And then we might as well talk about a few things that are coming up in the community, and most of them involve volunteers. And on the week of June 12th, we've got the Miss Wisconsin pageant.
And Miss Oshkosh, she was at our recognition evening that we had, and what a lovely, young, well-spoken lady Katrina is. And her platform is mental health advocacy, which is so important, especially in our world today, and for a young person to be talking about it from her experiences and all that. So we do wish, we're a little partial here, we do wish our Miss Oshkosh the very best in the Miss Wisconsin pageant, which is coming up, which, by the way, if you don't know, and you should know, it's a scholarship pageant. So it's helping people go to school.
Right. It's known as the beauty pageant, but it's scholarship, and it's recognizing the beauty within rather than the physical appearance necessarily. Another thing coming up is Country USA, and yes, it's charged for admission and it's a charge for everything. But there's a lot of nonprofits that are involved out on the grounds that are doing fundraising at the same time.
And it does, the festival goers give back to our community in so many ways by all the businesses that they visit. But they also, if need be, our hospitals are on alert, our clinics are on alert to help everyone, because it's a small community out there of people, and there are volunteers that make that event come alive. So that's June 27th through 29th, which we were just talking about how fast the time is going.
It has been. And then we kind of move on in the beginning of July and the 4th of July. And things are really getting changed up this year in Oshkosh. And some people are not real happy about it. Others are thinking it's just wonderful. And some are just not really sure what's going on yet. So we've got, we start out the day, we get to join the whole community with doing commentary for the 4th of July parade. And that's been in the works for many years.
Now, are we going to be at the same spot, or is that switching because of the road construction?
The parade will still go down Irving.
Okay, good. Okay.
The last meeting I was at didn't have all the final details yet. Okay. We'll find out soon enough.
It's just nice to be right downtown in Oshkosh because all the people are around you and they're all excited and it all goes so very well.
Yes.
But then there's a switch up with the fireworks.
Well, even before that, Downtown Rotary has been working with the city and a lot of the community organizations, and they're going to do family fun at the amphitheater and at Riverside Park because Sawdust Days is not in the works this year, has gone by the wayside, and with all the construction on Hazel, getting to and from Menominee Park is a little bit of an issue, but you can still go down Irving and get there. But they're going to be doing a lot of family fun activities over at the Leach and on Riverside Park, and there'll be a concert early in the evening also. And then at dusk, the fireworks are going to be shot off from Pioneer Island, Keeney Island. And there's been extra money allocated from Festival Foods and another donor. So there's even more fireworks going to be happening this year. And in spite of what people are thinking, there's a lot of parking downtown. There's a lot of visibility from a lot of areas, and it's going to be a great time.
I just have to get I have a spot where I always go sit in the Pioneer to watch them. I got to do something to keep my spot because I know that it's going to be filled now because it's beautiful to see the water and the fireworks over the bridge and everything. It's going to be wonderful. And yes, folks, it's June and we're talking about July 4th. But it's all going to go fast. And you know what happens then? July
then we're going to be
4th.
talking back to school.
Yeah, because they say the dog days of summer are right in there too. So, but we're excited about all of this because it's all community and it's all groups in our community who are working together to do this for our community. So I'm really excited about it all.
And I'm going to backtrack. The parade is coordinated by the Vietnam Vets of America and the Associates, which would be the ladies group. And they do a wonderful job. And we have to recognize that they are themselves volunteers. And as you look at the committee, they're doing the same as I am. They're starting to age out. They're not as young as they used to be. So that we have to kind of keep in mind. And if there's anybody out there that's interested in helping them, please step forward.
Well, and our very first Community Unsung Hero was Ann Hawk from that committee.
Yes.
And I still remember the expression on her face. She was so gracious because she said, why? It's not just me. But it is, because she does a lot behind the scenes with all of the bookwork, and you're on the phone with her and emailing even the day of the parade, because it's not as easy as one might think that you get this binder and you just suddenly talk about everything going on. Because sometimes entries are missing and they're
missing or they're out of order, something has changed. She's texting or calling in between. Rick Wing, who has been so instrumental over the years with his health declining, they try to keep him as involved as possible, and he looks forward to it. There's so much that's done to keep him and the rest involved.
So it really is a wonderful time, and there is so much to do. I encourage you to go to either the Chamber or the Convention and Visitors Bureau also and to see all the activities that are going on besides the Farmers Market, which is an activity in itself in downtown Oshkosh. There's just so much to do that you feel guilty sometimes that you can't do it all, which we can't.
Well, and when we talk towards the end of July, EAA, Air Adventure, and all those types of things, we could be playing all summer instead of working.
Yeah. And we're so glad that our audience has been with us for 16 years and that you do find the time to watch us and let us know, because you do come up to us in stores, in the hospital where I work, anywhere, and just give us ideas or talk about a show. My biggest thing that I say to people is they say, I saw you. And I say, did you keep watching, though? and they do. And they do say that they do, because we're looking for interesting people, interesting things, just like Lori was so good, in our last segment.
Right.
And so that's what we're looking for. That's the reason we have the show. The reason that we partner with Oshkosh Media is to let you know about things, either well-established programs or brand new programs that we want to learn more about in our wonderful community.
Right. And as people see us in the community and saying that they've seen us, and I get my clothes critiqued every so often too, but the fact that they're tuning in, that they're paying attention, and how many times I'm referring people to such and such organization, either to receive services or to volunteer.
Okay. So once again, our time is up, just like the weather and just like everything else. It's gone by quickly, but we're so glad that you could be with us for our June edition of Helping Hands. I'm John Neiman with Aurora Medical Center.
And Judy Ritchie, Community Advocate. Thank you for being with us.